question?
Through diplomacy, using China to get them to stop developing ICBM or to use military force. I prefer diplomacy. But here, I had dinner with the president last night. It was a great dinner. I really am impressed with his commander-in-chief skills here. He is not going to let this nut job in North Korea develop a missile with a nuclear weapon on top to hit America. He doesn't want a war any more than I do, but he's not going to let them get a missile. That's where they're headed, and China needs to up their game to stop this before it's too late.
All right, folks, I just wanted to let you know this, is important. This is an ongoing deal with North Korea, the United States. The world's watching, with China hoping that they're able to make a deal. Will there be a deal made with China? Can they get the job done? This guy is a loose cannon. There's a meeting at the White House, 100 senators tomorrow. Now, there was a meeting last night where you just heard from Lindsey Graham of basically what is discussed and who was at that meeting last night.
So we met with the chairman of the Joint Chiefs last night at dinner with Senator McCain, myself, and the president. It was a terrific dinner. I think President Trump's relationship with China is the key. China's done more in the last 2 weeks to push back against North Korea, stopping coal shipments, even maybe using the UN to sanction North Korea than they've done in the last 25 years. So it's clear to me that this president will not allow North Korea to develop an ICBM with a nuclear weapon on top to hit America. And I think the senators are going to hear that tomorrow night. And I hope the senators will understand that if nothing changes, Kim Jong-il will have that capability relatively soon.
All right, so folks, we'll be monitoring this very, very closely, and hopefully we can come with some peaceful resolve, but it does look like we're at the ready, and we'll see what happens on that front. But it could be very dangerous, and the regime, the terrible guy, the inhumane things that he does to his people over there, those poor people that suffer in the concentration camps and prisons and dungeons. They're so bad over there, folks. Besides the poverty, the starvation over there, is that when they beat these people, when they're dead, they continue beating the dead corpse. I'm not even lying. It's a true story. Elton John, big fan, canceled nearly a dozen shows in Las Vegas, California, both after contracting a rare bacterial infection in South America that left the 70-year-old legendary performer in a hospital intensive care unit. His $1 million piano, it's a big show that he scheduled in Las Vegas, Caesars Palace, in April and May, along with another concert in Bakersfield on May 6th, reported The Guardian. And according to Caesars Palace Facebook post, John contracted a handful and unusual, handful rather, of concerts. I guess this is what it's saying. Yep. But this unusual bacteria infection during his recent American tour, on his flight home, he became violently ill, and his doctors admitted him to a hospital in the UK where he underwent immediate treatment to remove the infection. So they're watching it, and he's resting at home. And the Rocket Man, it looks like he'll be back on that piano soon. Big fan.
Touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh, no, 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 I'm a rocket man.
What's your favorite Elton John song? That's one of mine. That's a great song. Rocket Man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the raffles tomorrow. You haven't got your ticket yet. I can see the ticket sales. If you haven't gotten it, get it now while it's hot. It supports this broadcast. If you like what we do here, we try to be real. We try to be sensible. We don't try to be unreasonable with the broadcast. We don't try to ruffle too many feathers, but sometimes we do. If you're a liberal and we call you a snowflake, it's all in fun. But I think that there are some very smart liberals that listen to this broadcast because they tell us they like the broadcast. They might yell at the radio a few times, but they're engaged. They're here and they're talking about it. And if you're talking about it, we're talking about it. And we want to keep the conversation going. And thank God for our First Amendment rights. We want to keep that alive and well. But we don't want to be like Berkeley. We don't want to incite violence, as a lot of these leftists are doing, and not guaranteeing the safety of Ann Coulter or any conservative speaker at that. Don't want to hear from them. Don't want to hear another point of view. That's a shame. And that's not what America is all about. You might disagree, but as the old saying goes, agree to disagree. And that's what we have to do in the country. But we can still be friends. And I think there's so many things that we can get along with. We can talk about so many other things. Maybe it's gardening that you like. We can talk about that. Like nice flowers, don't you? Fresh flowers. Good-looking yard. Going to the beach. Going on vacations. How about some good food? Maybe some good wine. Maybe a good church service. And a good parade. There's so many things. Eating watermelons. Cooking chicken. Eating steak. Barbecuing, and for you vegetarians, a nice vegetarian meal. I think we've covered the gamut here, folks, today. Full show today. If you haven't got your ticket, like I said, forthepeopleshow.com on our front page. You can purchase it there online securely. We'll be calling off some name tomorrow, and I can't wait to do it. We're 100% listener-supported, folks. Help us gain more stations. We want to thank the stations carrying this broadcast, and thanks for listening to For the People. I'm Keith Allen saying all the best. May God bless.